Hello, I'm Dr. Harper. This video is in Management of Operations, BUSN 6630, the syllabus of policies and procedures. So let's bring up the policies and procedures of the syllabus. Okay, the policies and procedures in this syllabus will be followed in the course and apply to every student. In taking this course, each student is responsible to know and adhere to the policies and procedures in the syllabus. So, this first course description, as I see here, is from the catalog, and this is a description to identify the catalog description to the course. These are the course objectives. These are my objectives for the course. This course will survey concepts, methods, and strategies commonly used in the management of operations. Now, what I mean by survey concepts, methods, and strategies, I do that through different assignments. But that is done through the different types of approaches of recognition of problems, recognize what the problem is, application of techniques, doing it correctly, and communication of results, communication in a business environment. They're emphasized through lectures, assignments, and exams. The approach to the material in this course will include a progressive objectives, which build on one another, of a basic understanding of their underlying concepts of operations, a proficiency in the application of tools to operations problems, an ability to analyze operational strategies, and experience in communicating results in a business environment. And this course should provide a student the capability to independently acquire workable solution to commonly encountered operations problems or to be an effective leader or contributor in a team effort dealing with operations issues. Overview. The course design. As I mentioned before, the course design contains multiple resources to be utilized at each student's discretion based on learning styles, learning objectives, availability, and needs. The important part of this sentence is that each student learns differently. And you need to learn the right way to use the resources to optimize your learning style. Each person learns differently. Use all the resources for learning. Learn how to learn. Resources include Word files, Excel files, videos. Videos are based on the material in the Word files and Excel files, and they include presentation of material and application of the material. Course design also includes deliverables in the form of quizzes, homework, exam, and project. Each type of deliverable has specific learning objectives. Quiz and homework deliverables are designed for learning. Exam is designed for evaluation, and a project is designed for communication. Although each student is encouraged to utilize resources as needed, each student is required to submit deliverables when due. No late assignments are accepted. And there's one of two strict rules I have in this course. No late assignments are accepted. The due date and time are strictly enforced through Canvas. Don't violate it because it will not be accepted. No late assignments are accepted. The second strict rule is no work is accepted or considered after the end of the course. At the end of the course, everything is finalized, the course grades are submitted to the registrar, and the course is over. Communication will be physical office hours for me in person, virtual office hours with me through Zoom, and Q&A, TD, which is question and answer threaded discussion between students for each topic module. Course management. Again, this course contains reading material, online resources, quiz assignments, homework assignments, exam, and a project. Course grade is based solely on students' performance in the grade measures of quiz assignments, homework assignments, exam, and project. Grades are not negotiated, no curves, no extra credit. In calculating course grades, normal rounding conventions are used. Now, what this means, course grade is based solely on students' performance in the grade measures. What that means is that quizzes, homework, exam, and project have points. The amount of points you earn divided by the total possible points is a percentage, and your grade is based on that percentage. And I explained that in the schedule part of the syllabus video. In calculating course grades, normal rounding conventions are used, which are represented in the next paragraph. Follow the common rounding conventions for calculations in this course, especially related to grades, assignments, and an exam. For example, if x is to be rounded to the unit digit, then if x is between 1.5 and 2.5, well, if it's 1.5 or more less than 2.5, you round to 2. If it's less than 2.5, you round to 2. In other words, 0.5 is rounded up. Less than 0.5 is rounded down. Never round during calculations. In other words, never use a rounded value in a calculation. Use all the significant figures. Only round your presentations. When you report it or present it, you can use rounded numbers in presentation, but never use a rounded number in a calculation. The quiz assignments and homework assignments will be available through Canvas and will be submitted through Canvas. Quiz assignments and homework assignments are designed with different objectives. The quiz assignments are designed to cover basic material. And the basic material are such as definitions of terms and mechanics of calculations. The homework assignments are designed to apply a problem-solving approach to operations problems. And the problem-solving approach is within a business environment of operations. In other words, here's the kind of scenario, here's the kind of environment that you would encounter these kind of problems. So now you're beginning to apply it. No late assignments are accepted. I say it again. The policy is strictly enforced, no exceptions. Course material. The textbook is Heiser and Render, 12th edition, and I do have readings out of the textbook down here. Canvas is also required because the availability and submission of all assignments through Canvas. You download the assignments, quizzes, homeworks, and also project cases, and take all the resources. There's a lot of resources. And you submit assignments through Canvas. All grades on assignments will be posted on Canvas, and the course grades posted only through the registrar. I don't post them in Canvas. The course grade at the end of the course is posted to the registrar. Although there are no prerequisites for this course, knowledge of mathematics, statistics, and Excel will be useful. Now, what I mean by this is that I use mathematics, I use statistics, and I'll use Excel in this course. But it's not part of the course. In other words, I'm not going to teach mathematics in this course, or teach statistics in this course, or teach Excel. I'll use it. Now, if you need help with mathematics, because maybe you're rusty, or need help with statistics or Excel, I will help you, but it's not part of the course. It's outside the course. That's what office hours are for, or any type of help that I can give you with resources. Okay, so even though it's not part of the course, I will still help you. Okay, here's the reading material down here, Heiser and Render. And so what I did here, I took the different topics in this course, different topics within operations actually, and some of these are in this course. And I said, okay, here are the chapters and the pages. FF means and following. These are the pages, chapter 1 and the following pages for operations and strategies and linear programming, forecasting. So here's the readings. A lot of people learn by reading. Some people don't. They'll listen to the videos. Some people will actually work the problems and then go back and look at the videos, or do the problems, then go back and read. But anyway, so this is the reading material. But notice also there will also be online material available through the website mdharper.com. mdharper.com. That's a website which is my website. Let's go to that resource. Okay, so notice mdharper.com. That's URL. And so this is my website, not the university's, my website, Dr. Harper's website. Now down here, the operations management, if you click on that tab, It opens up all the textbook. You can click here and go to the textbook. If you want to purchase it there's the textbook in Amazon. You can come down here. You'll have a Word file. You'll have video files. You'll have Excel files. All kinds of video files down here. It goes on and on and on. You'll have all kinds of help and resources, and that's what I mean by help and resources. A lot of resources to use. You don't need to look at all of these things, but I think some people do if you're really interested in learning as much as you can while you're here. Okay, but this is my website. In other words, Canvas will go down after the course. This will not go down unless I take it down, and I haven't taken it down for years. So these resources will always be here. So use this as a resource. Back to the syllabus, let's go on. Communications are very important. It's been a problem in the past. And let me explain how I will have communications in this course. Communications consist of one-way and two-way channels for different purposes. One-way communication will include lectures, Word files, Excel files, and videos I provide in Canvas in the course. Two-way communications channels include asynchronous question and answer threaded discussion between students. Asynchronous Canvas messaging to me, because I will read it. Synchronous virtual office hours with me using Zoom, and synchronous in-person office hours with me on campus in my office. Now, the office hours will for the in-person and Zoom will be posted in Canvas. Okay. And I cover that in the very first video, the syllabus or the schedule. Most importantly, each student is responsible to utilize all the resources available in this course for learning and use communication channels to support the learning resources. Do not rely merely on communication channels for learning in this course, apart from the utilization of learning resources. And what I mean by this is important. What I mean by this is don't just rely on communication to learn by just coming to office hour and says, I didn't read the syllabus, I didn't read the material, I didn't watch the videos, tell me what I need to know. That's not learning. So be very careful with that. The most important thing you can learn at a university is learn how to learn. Learn how to learn from resources. And asking me what the answers are is not a good way to use me as a resource. If you don't understand something, once you've studied it, I can clarify and it'll support your learning. It should not be the primary source of learning. Communication between students, again, is a significant resource. Communication between students will be through the Q&A TD, question and answer threaded discussion link in Canvas for each topic. Use the Q&A threaded discussion on Canvas for asking questions, sharing answers about the course material, the homework, quizzes, sharing information about the course, or any other collaborations helpful for learning. For example, some people use these Q&A to set up study groups, which is fine. And notice I say share questions, share answers. Here's what I got, what did you get? So use these resources, use each other between students. Although collaboration is encouraged throughout the course to learn the material, each student is required to submit original work. In other words, you don't use collaboration to get the answers, you submit your own work. No collaboration is allowed on the exam, and only submit originally composed individual project reports at the end of the course. Communication with me about the course will primarily be through Canvas messaging between Monday and Friday of each week. Monday and Friday use Canvas messaging. I won't answer, I will not necessarily look at these things over the weekend. It's Monday through Friday. Use Canvas messaging for personal communications about the course in general. Also, use Canvas messaging to alert me of questions or issues about the course material not resolved in the question and answer threaded discussion between students. In other words, if in the threaded discussions, if people go back and forth and you think something is wrong or it's not clear, it doesn't work, well, then you can say, could you come and look at this in the threaded discussions and post that on Canvas messaging? I'll see that on Canvas messaging, I'll go and look, and then I will respond to it and help. So I'm available, but only if asked. I will not sit there and read all this stuff unless you ask me to. And it should only be an issue that's not being resolved. I will not answer questions about the course material in Canvas messaging. However, if a question about the course material is posted to me in Canvas messaging, or an alert to a need in the threaded discussions, Q&A, I will copy the question and respond to the question in the Q&A threaded discussion for all students to benefit from my answer. Okay, next, since email has been unreliable in the past, use email only when necessary. And I want to emphasize this because this has been a problem. Email is unreliable because I'm Michael Harper, Michael Harper. There has been multiple Michael Harpers on at UCD, at CU, and UCD. And there have been more than once people email me and it goes to a different Michael Harper. I never see it. And that's a problem. They say, he's not answering my emails. I don't get them. Okay. And also sometimes that's due to there's multiple aliases for your email. And so sometimes it's, for example, now I think it's Mike.Harper. I think this will get to me. It has been Mike.D.Harper. It has Michael.Harper. Michael.D. They keep changing it around. I think a lot of times when someone else comes on board, then they give them that and gives me another one. You know, it's confusing. And I think this is my email address for now. Do not rely on email as primary communications. Do not do that. But sometimes you do need to use it. Should communication using email deemed necessary, for example, you need to talk to me and submit things or support or upload things or something, use the email address here, include BUSN 6630 so I'll know what course it's in the subject area to be considered. Otherwise, I may not receive the email. Okay, finally, collaboration is the responsibility of each student. Lack of collaboration does not eliminate a student's responsibility to submit assignments when due. In other words, just because you don't collaborate with someone doesn't mean you need extra time. You're responsible to get it when due. No late assignments. If a tutor is used, which is the responsibility of the student, be careful to use the tutor appropriately. Now, I say tutor. That also applies to colleagues. That also applies to other students. If you're using other students to help you learn, use them appropriately. Using them appropriately simply means use them to learn the material. Don't use them to get the answers and you don't really understand the material. So use them to learn. Okay. Now the submission of the quiz and homework assignments. Okay, first of all, quiz assignments and homework assignments will be assigned and graded. Quiz assignments and homework assignments will be available on Canvas and submitted through Canvas. Answers to the assignments will be posted on Canvas after the due date. Now this paragraph here is very important. Quiz assignments and homework assignments will be posted on Canvas. Carefully follow this procedure. 1. Download the questions from Canvas, which will be in a Word file. You download them. Offline, you have all the questions for the quiz and homework. And offline, you obtain all the answers for all the questions. Offline. You download it, you get all the answers. Only when all the answers are ready to submit, submit all the answers through Canvas at one time. And this is very strict rules, so be very, very careful. Each student is responsible to submit answers through Canvas correctly, completely, and on time. Answers may be submitted only once. Assignments submitted will be accepted as an entire assignment and graded as an entire assignment. In other words, you can't submit a little bit now, a little bit there, a little bit there. No. Once you submit it and you click submit, that's your whole assignment. If you have 20 questions, you had 5, you submit that, then it's submitted. So you can't submit it and resubmit. Submit it only one time. You click them all in and submit. Most of it's multiple choice. Once you begin, you have only 60 minutes to submit all the answers to an assignment, only if all the answers submitted on or before the due date and time for the assignment. 60 minutes is more than enough time. I notice people, when they start submitting it, they're just, a lot of them are just multiple choice, click, 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 And sometimes they take 3 minutes to do it, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So it doesn't take all that time. But I give you plenty of time to make sure you submit all of them carefully to get it done. Okay, you probably need only 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but I give you 60. Okay, but notice what I say here. Only if all the answers are submitted on or before the due date and time for the assignment. The due date and time are strictly enforced by Canvas. Canvas will not allow submission after the due date and time, even during the 60-minute time window. In other words, the due date and time supersedes the 60 minutes. In other words, they're due on 11:59 p.m. If you open it to submit all your answers at 11:58, you have 1 minute to do it. In 1 minute, it'll close it, and you can't submit it anymore. Whatever you submit, boom, that's your submission. So again, I'm telling this up front, be very careful with your submissions because no late assignments are accepted. After that, it's late. Okay. The entire assignment must be submitted on or before the due date and time is indicated. No late assignments are accepted. Assignments not submitted have a grade of 0. The answers to the assignments will be posted online after the due date. No partial credit. I say this again to emphasize it. No late assignments are accepted. This policy is strictly enforced, no exceptions. All assignments are to be submitted through Canvas. However, in the event submission of an assignment through Canvas is not possible, for example, suppose the due date and time is down or whatever, you can't get it or Canvas is down and you can't open Canvas or something happens, I will accept an assignment submitted by other means. For example, email or Canvas messaging, because sometimes people say, I opened it up, but I didn't submit anything because my electricity went out or my laptop went down or something happened. If it's by so you can take it and then get submitted by email or Canvas messaging. If the submission of the assignment has a justifiable digital date and time stamp by the due date and time. If it's on time, then I'll accept it. If it's after the time, it doesn't matter. I won't accept it. Okay, follow the common rounding procedures. As I said before, never submit, never use calculations in a calculation. Never use rounded numbers in a calculation. But you can submit rounded numbers in a presentation. Any grading errors on assignments should be resolved as soon as possible. No corrections to grading material will be made after the end of the course. Okay, collaboration is encouraged to aid in learning the material, but not required. It's up to you. Use the resources according to your learning styles. Although collaboration is encouraged, students are expected to perform and submit their own work. Exam. Examinations will be given in this course. It'll be designed for evaluation. Designed for evaluation. Let me talk about this. The quiz and the homework is designed for learning. There's where you go in depth to learn the material. The exams are not designed for learning specifically. They're designed for evaluation of what you know. I'm not trying to teach you things you don't know. I want to evaluate what you do know. So I will try very hard to ask you things you should know. But notice what I say. An exam study guide will be available to prepare for the exam. The exam may be taken only once. Exam will be multiple choice, open book, open notes, and timed. Well, open notes is the exam study guide. You can have all that in front of you. So a lot of the exam is understanding the question, understanding the answer, knowing where to find the material, and putting them together. So that's how I've designed the evaluation part of the course. No collaboration is allowed. Collaboration is cheating. So do not get help. Everyone does their own exam. Don't collaborate from any other person. Only use material in the course. No commercial devices are allowed, like phones or anything like that, to getting information. Only information from the course. No sharing of material or equipment is allowed. Each student must take their own exam with no outside help other than the material from the course. If academic dishonesty occurs on an exam, the student will receive a 0 for the exam. Any incident of academic dishonesty may be reported to the business school or the University of Colorado Denver for further action. And I've been here long enough, that has happened, and I have submitted it. And the further action could include things like suspension, you flunked the course, or expulsion. Don't cheat. That's not why we're here. No exam will result in a 0 for the exam. No work is accepted after the end of the course. Again, that's strict policy. Projects. The project will consist of an analysis of a case study submitted by each student. Each student submits their own analysis. No group submissions. Each person does their own analysis. Now, the case study is presented within an assignment memo that I provide. I'll provide a number of assignment memos. Each assignment memo describes a case study. You pick one of them. Each student will select one of the assignment memos from 4 available and produce 3 deliverables. So you pick one of the 4, only one. You pick one, you go, okay, this is what I'm doing. There's my case study. Okay, I have to submit 3 things. The student submits 3 things. 1, a 1-page response memo. 2, a 1-page technical memo. 3, a 2-minute MP4 video based on a PowerPoint presentation. Now, I don't describe what these are here. I will go into depth on what the response memo is, what the technical memo is, what the MP4 video is all about. I go in depth in the project instructions during the course. The response memo is to the client described in the assignment memo. The technical memo is an internal document. MP4 video is a video where you describe with your personality. The 3 types of modes of communication and purposes of communication. Submit both memos in one PDF file through Canvas. Submit the 2-minute MP4 video presentation through Canvas. Details will be provided in the project instructions during the course. You'll hear a lot more about that during the course in the project instructions. Okay, finally, general information. Assignments consist, and a lot of this is repeated, like in summary. Assignments consist of quiz assignments, homework assignments, and project. All assignments are submitted through Canvas, only under special circumstances. Assignments submitted by other channels of communication will be accepted if accompanied by a justifiable date and timestamp. I've already mentioned that, like email or Canvas messaging, that's other sources. Late assignments are not accepted. Each assignment not received when due is a grade of 0. Grades will be posted on Canvas during the course, so you'll see what your grades are as you go through. However, the final course grade will be submitted through the registrar and not on Canvas. No correction to the grade will be considered after the end of the course. Nothing is considered after the end of the course. Academic dishonesty. In the event academic dishonesty occurs on an assignment or an exam, the work will receive a grade of 0. Any incident of academic dishonesty may be reported to the business school or the University of Colorado Denver for further action. Also, the projects. Okay, the projects, I've also mentioned this. Conduct. Strict adherence to the Code of Conduct. Now, this link here, this PDF, is the actual Code of Conduct for UCD. And this Code of Conduct applies to students, faculty, staff, guests, visitors, whoever. Okay. University information as far as human resources are concerned is this link. There are a lot of human resource links with procedures that govern the university environment. So make sure that you use this as a reference. FERPA. FERPA, I will follow very strictly. Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act required by law, and I will abide by it. Now, in other words, one thing in FERPA that's going to be important is that the information I have about you, I will not share with anyone except you and people who have a right to know, who have established they have a right to know, like within the university. Okay, like the registrar or the dean or my area coordinator or something. If they have a right to know, then I will share it. Any current or potential indications of violence, any current or potential indications of violations of verbal or physical disruption or intimidation, which includes violence, can be reported to the CARE team. Now, the CARE is an assessment team. They come and assess things. If something seems to get like going out of control, a person or a group of people or some language or something that's maybe getting out of control, report this. The CARE team will investigate, and they will come in to assess, and they'll support, they'll evaluate. Is there anything that needs to be done to support people who maybe need help? Any verbal or physical incidents of violent or disruptive behavior can be reported to the business school at the University of Colorado Denver. And by the way, can be and has been. There is no room for violent or disruptive behavior at UCD in the business school or in my classes or anywhere. Conduct also includes etiquette that is respectful to all people, facilities, and institutions. And I think the key word here is respect. Respect each other. Respect why we're here. We're here to learn. Respect the institution that's here to teach. Respect the facilities. They're here for us to be able to learn well. Commitment expectation. Taking this course represents your commitment to perform the work when due. Faculty policy have stated in the past that classes in the business school should require of the students workload in and out of class or in and out of the videos that enhances quality education is consistent with the amount of academic credit granted for a course. This course requires work due on a regular basis. No incomplete grades are given. Simple. The statement on this last final statement, policies in this syllabus apply to each student equally. And what I mean by that is that if someone wants a special case, then I will not violate the policies in this syllabus. However, I will consider special circumstances, but when I do, standards will not be compromised and all work must be completed during the course. One example of that is that, like, if the policy is to submit everything through Canvas. But if Canvas goes down, you can email me, or if something happens, you can Canvas message me and assign it or attach it to a memo or something. I'll accept that. It's by the due date and time. The standards have not been compromised, and the work has been submitted. But the standards will not be lowered or eliminated, and you can't submit things after the due date and time. Moreover, Any action taken by me that might be taken as varying from these policies shall not be a cause to eliminate or alter any student's responsibility to adhere to all the requirements of the course or to prevent my action in enforcing the policies in the course to every student. Just because one student had to submit it by email doesn't mean that everyone can submit it any way they want, for example. Okay. This ends my version of the syllabus. Okay. Now, faculty have been required to include the following information in their syllabus. Instead of trying to pick and choose and put it in this syllabus, I include the wording provided to the faculty for your information and perusal. Okay, let's go through this very quickly. You can read it. Academic dishonesty. I already talked about the code of conduct here, and I talked about code of conduct and academic dishonesty, but they go deeper. They talk about plagiarism, cheating, fabrication, falsification, misuse of academic material. All that applies to cheating. Disability access. I did mention this, but I did mention it not specifically, in general. That is resources. Disability resource and services. If you need this, use it because it is a resource. Use all your resources. Learn how to learn with your resources and how these resources can help you. And if you need this, definitely take advantage of it and use it because it's there to help. Non-discrimination and sexual misconduct. There's absolutely no place for that at a university, and no place for that in my courses or in my classes. This is Title IX. Prohibit any discrimination on the basis of race, color, national origin, sex, age, disability, on and on and on. There's no place for that here, and so this will also, Title IX will be followed. Statement on pronouns and preferred names. I will call you whatever you want, and I'm going to tell you if I use the wrong pronoun, the wrong preferred name, I do something, or I say the right name incorrectly, or I pronounce it incorrectly, I'll apologize up front. I'm sorry. Correct me, because I want to call you what you want to be called, and if I don't, it's just out of ignorance. It's a mistake. So make sure you kindly, respectfully say, this is how I want to be called. I says, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, or okay, I will do whatever you say. Because we're here to learn, and I will do whatever you want. I'll refer to you the way you would like to be referred to. Diversity and inclusion. This paragraph here is by Dr. Brenda Allen, a very nice person, a great resource here, and I understand what she's saying, and I agree with it in principle. I would not say it this way. In other words, you belong here, as do your classmates. You belong here if you have great teachers, positive experience in schooling. You belong here if school societies have marginalized you and your community. You belong here if you are, and she begins listing all these religions. I understand what she means. I agree with what she means, but I would not say it this way. You don't belong here only because you're part of a religion. You belong here because you want to learn. If you want to learn, your religion should not be part of being able to learn or not. In other words, you are here to learn, I will teach you. And just because you have a religion, just because you have, your color or perceived white or your ethnic heritage or cognitive ability or LGBTQ, or it doesn't matter. That is not going to affect me teaching you. If you're here to learn, I'm here to teach. That's going to happen, and these are not going to undermine that at all. Okay. She goes into political affiliations, on and on and on. In other words, those should not be part of justification for learning. I'm going to teach. You're here to learn. I'm here to teach. It's going to happen. Okay. The Counseling Center. Again, another resource. If you need the Counseling Center, use it. It's a resource. Some people do. About a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, I had a student come in who was really having a hard time with PTSD, just got back from Afghanistan in the military, and he needed help. There's help. There's help there. Find where that help is, and right here's a link. And there's help with military, there's help with counseling, there's help with everything. Again, it's a resource. Learn how to use these resources. If you need them, use them. The CARE team. Here's the CARE team again. I've already mentioned it. Land acknowledgement. This is interesting. Now, this is by Gracie Redshirt Tyan, Director of American Indian Student Services. So, again, I understand what she's saying, and I pretty much agree with the principles, but I would go deeper. It's not just about the land. Acknowledging that we reside in homelands of indigenous people is an important step in recognizing the history and original stewards of these lands, on and on and on. Land acknowledgements must extend far beyond words, etc., etc. I think I understand what she's saying, and I agree with it in principles. I would say it differently. Native Americans, indigenous people, indigenous nations, they were here, but also they have a culture that was here before other cultures came in. Respect all cultures, beginning with the indigenous people's culture. Again, respect, respect, respect. Respect other cultures and respect the Native American cultures. Because the Native American can bring very, very positive, inclusive, diverse, and good, positive culture to any type of culture, as is true with other cultures. So learn from other cultures and don't undermine it, but respect, respect, respect. Okay, finally, important dates to remember. These dates here, as the calendar here, there's a link to the calendars, and every student probably, if they wonder about the dates of this and that, this is the link that will take you to all the dates within the calendar. Okay, so there's the syllabus, policies and procedures for this course. I hope this helps. Between now and the next time I see you, take care.